What is happening, Stealth Army? We're back with another video today. Hope you guys are doing great. We got a special one because we got a brand new video by Mojang, which we're going to be breaking down in regards to 1.17, which is releasing very soon. And we got the homie King B Dogs in the video, as well as Alexander. So very excited. Learned a couple of new things about 1.17. So we're going to be breaking down this video. And I'm just really excited for new content. Even though it's not the cave generation and the mountain generation, we're still getting some really awesome and amazing features in the Caves and Cliffs Update Part 1. So as always, I really appreciate the support, squad. If you're part of the Stealth Army, hashtag it down below. With that said, leave a like as well if you enjoyed this type of content, and let's get started.
Hi! Today we're going to answer questions about part 1 of the Caves and Cliffs update. In this video we're going to talk about blocks. Let's get to those questions.
So even though this update is being split into two...
King B Dogs with the curls, my dude. I hope you're watching this video. Love you to death. Love everything you're doing. And I want you here as well, man. Looking sharp as always.
Is being split into two parts. It's so big that, as you can see here, we're actually adding up to 91 new blocks to the game. And most of these will actually generate in the game as well. They're not just added to the creative inventory.
Really excited about Deep Slate. I don't want nobody sleeping on Deep Slate. It looks incredible, and I just can't wait to see what people build with it.
Personally, I am very excited about the powder snow block and the big drip leaf block. So the powder snow block is very unique. You can fall into it and you can sort of get lost inside, which can be really funny.
And you can use it to prevent fall damage. So similar to how you would use a bucket of water, you can just sort of place it down really fast and there's no fall damage. So really helpful.
And the big drip leaf block is a platforming block, so if you stand on top of it, it will tilt and you will fall down as well, which I think can create some hilarious situations.
So while the larger caves you may have seen in the snapshots aren't coming until part 2, there are still some significant changes to the caves in part 1.
In the new caves, we will have pointed dripstone and dripstone blocks generating. We will also see clusters of amethysts generating, as well as glow lichen, who is going to lit up the caves and make them brighter than before.
1.18 is obviously going to address the cave generation, mountain generation, and the new world height limit. However, we're still getting new content in the caves in 1.17. So the deep slate, the dripstone, new content will still generate in these caves. New chunks. I just want to make sure that I clarify that in new chunks. So you're not going to see this stuff in your old caves unless you just place it there.
Deep slate is found in the lowest parts of the world next to bedrock, and you can find deep slate versions of all the ores sometimes generating in them.
Mine shafts will also be updated and will now be hanging from chains and be built on top of support pillars.
I was very surprised about this. I learned this today, so some of you guys might have already known this, and if you already knew this, I would actually like to know where you heard this from. But the new mine shafts, or at least the new improvements made to the mine shafts, will be a part of 1.17. So really excited because the mine shafts desperately needed, a new upgrade, and they're getting it in 1.17. So really hyped about this. I think the mine shafts look a lot better than they did beforehand. So really, really cool stuff happening with the mine shafts, and we're gonna get it in 1.17.
And finally, in these mine shafts, you might find a new ore called copper. So one of the biggest changes that we're actually doing to ores in this update is, first of all, we've actually changed all the textures. And this was a very important change for accessibility. Some colorblind users couldn't actually tell the difference between some of the ores with the previous textures. What I like about this change, apart from the accessibility, is it also gives a lot of character.
Had to pause this so we can get a better look at the textures before the release of 1.17. So I've made a lot of videos showcasing all the different textures for the snapshot as well as the betas. So Jasper's been sharing a lot of this on Twitter as well. So the gold ore, lapis, emerald, diamond, redstone, coal, and iron, they've all gone through a lot of different changes, a lot of different shapes, and I think they look great, especially iron. Iron has gone through several changes, right? And gold looks great. The diamond looks great as well. And they have their deep slate version. So fantastic job. I'm really happy about this. And hopefully it helps a lot of people as well. So a win-win for everybody.
To each of the new ores, which is really good in my opinion. On top of that, we're also making a big change to all of the smeltable ores such as iron, copper, and gold. This change is that it will actually drop raw versions of the ore as items. And one of the biggest implications of this change is the fortune enchantment will actually work on iron and gold now, which means that you can get a lot more resources than you used to.
I've been sleeping on that, I'm not gonna lie, squad, so my apologies. I have not been talking about that enough. So fortune will work on more ores now, which is a big deal. Like, this is huge because it means you're gonna get a lot more out of your mining sessions. You're gonna get a lot more ores, so you can just use it for various projects or whatever you're trying to work on. This is great. Definitely gonna want to invest in a really good pickaxe now with mending, efficiency, fortune, as well as unbreaking. So, you know, start investing a lot of XP into your good pickaxe. It's gonna be well worth it.
So there are a lot of things that I feel is very exciting about copper. Starting off with the lightning rod. This is a item that you can craft that can be placed that will attract lightning. For me this is extra exciting because my house very often burns down when struck by lightning, so now I have a way to prevent that from happening.
I'm just curious, how many of you guys have had a house burn due to lightning? I'm just really curious. I've never had it happen to me, and I've asked a bunch of other YouTuber friends. They've never really ran into that issue either, but apparently some people have, so I'm just curious how many of you guys have had your house burned down or your roof burned down due to lightning strikes. Just really curious about that.
Another exciting thing about copper is the oxidization properties of copper. So copper is going to be aging over time and change the color of the block. And that will make the world feel more evolving, which I think is really cool.
That is such a cool mechanic. Like, wow, our first block ever that ages. Mojang went all out right here. Like, oxidation, it has 4 different stages, and they all look really awesome and very unique. Like, all of these stages look completely different than all the blocks that we currently have in Minecraft. I think the 3rd or 4th stage are personally my favorite, so it's pretty much green at that point. But let me know down below in the comment section your favorite stage of copper, the oxidation. Really impressed right here. I seriously am super hyped for copper and all the blocks related to the oxidation.
Another new item you can craft with copper is the spyglass. This allows you to look at anything closer up in the distance. So in order to get some of the Lush Caves blocks, you can actually find moss in Shipwreck chests, and through that you can bone meal that moss in order to get some of the plants from the Lush Caves growing on top.
That was so smart. Like, Mojang, King Bee Dogs, you guys are so incredible. So they tied it in with Update Aquatic somehow, right? The Shipwreck. So it incentivizes us to explore ocean. So they just tie everything up. It's just beautiful stuff. So if you're trying to get that mossy block, if you find a Shipwreck, you have a possibility of finding that mossy block, and then when you bone meal it, you get all of the other cool blocks related to the Lush Caves, or at least most of them. So really, really cool right here. I don't think they've talked about this before. Maybe I'm wrong, but this seems pretty brand new to me. So highly impressed. I just can't wait.
Along with this, you can also get glowberries from mineshaft chests, and this allows you to place the cave vines that are growing in the Lush Caves.
Another new piece of information related to 1.17 and the survival aspect of 1.17, because I know a lot of people are asking questions about how we're going to get certain blocks. So in order to get the glowberries, you can find them in the mineshaft chest. So yet again, it incentivizes you to go and explore, find new caves, find new mine shafts, and you have the possibility of finding one of the coolest items, in my opinion, the glow berry. It looks great, it tastes great, and it's just lit, right? Super happy that Mojang implemented the glow berries this way, because it definitely makes you want to go find new mine shafts, and hopefully you get some glow berries as a result.
If you get an azalea from bone milling some moss, you can actually also bone meal that azalea in order to get rooted dirt underneath. Along with this, if there are any items that you want from the biome,
Ta-da! Our first look at the Wandering Trader with some of the new items in the Lush Caves. So we can see the mossy block right there and some other items that the Wandering Trader will have. So really cool stuff. And I'm hoping we can also get a bunch of other items related to the Lush Caves, hopefully dripstone as well. Like I'm hoping that the Wandering Trader will offer pretty much most, if not all, the blocks related to 1.17, but fingers crossed. We don't entirely know the Wandering Trader's catalog for 1.17 as of right now. We'll probably just have to wait for the final release. But yeah, our first look at Wandering Trader in action for 1.17. Pretty sick.
that aren't accessible yet, you can go to the Wandering Trader in order to get some of these items.
For me, the most fun part was probably working with powder snow block, because it has so many interesting features. You can fall down in it and hide in it, and I just think it's an awesome block.
My favorite part about working on part 1 with the blocks was actually the changes to the ores. The fact that now it drops raw ore items instead of just the blocks themselves is a really exciting change. This is something that has always been in the game, the fact that it drops the original ore block. We're actually changing it this time, and it's an exciting change. It's very different. It's really been a pleasure to work on this update, and we really can't wait to see all of your reactions. Thanks for watching.
I'm just super happy. I don't even know why, but 1.17 looks like a really fun update. Clearly, it's not including everything that we saw during Minecon last year, which is why I think some people will just not be happy with 1.17. I think it's still an incredible update. Mojang put a lot of work and effort into it. And of course, King B Dogs, you're incredible, bro. Okay? Everybody at Mojang is just super talented and kind, and they just work hard all the time. So I think as a community, we can wait a couple more months for the cave generation, the world height limit, as well as the mountain generation, like as well as the warden, right? Team Warden, let's go. It's gonna be worth the wait, guys. Trust me, like if you can wait for Christmas, you can also wait for the 1.18 update. So guys, let me know down below in the comment section what you're looking forward to the most in 1.17. I think the axolotl is my favorite feature, my favorite mob in this entire update outside of the warden, which is technically another update. But share it down below, guys. Notification squad, y'all are the best. I'll catch you all in the next video. So take care. Peace.